Hey there, welcome back, or if this is your first time joining us, welcome to a journey across the North Sea. Tonight we're stepping into the life of a Viking raider. Not the noble warriors of popular shows, but the real thing. Scandinavian pirates in 793 AD, attacking monasteries, killing monks, burning villages, taking slaves, terrorizing Europe for 3 centuries. We're exploring what life was actually like for the Norsemen who raided England, Ireland, Francia, everywhere they could reach. And I can tell you right now, you wouldn't survive the sea voyage, let alone the raid. Before we board the longship and sail toward violence, if you enjoy these historical reality checks, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe if you want more content like this. And leave a comment. Alright. Get comfortable. Maybe grab some water. Turn on some background noise if that helps. And let's step aboard the longship together. Fair warning. Viking raids were not adventure, were not glory, were brutal piracy, systematic violence, profitable terror, that's the truth. Congratulations. You've just woken in a Norse village in Norway, 793 AD, spring has arrived, the seas are navigable, raiding season begins, you're joining the expedition, sailing to England, to raid monasteries, to take wealth, to capture slaves, to earn your reputation. The good news. If you survive and succeed, you'll return wealthy, respected, with silver, with slaves, with stories, with status earned. The bad news. Most raiding voyages end badly, ships sink, raiders die, diseases spread, enemies fight back, the seas are deadly, the raids are deadly, everything is deadly. Your bed is a bench in the longhouse, shared with extended family, cousins, uncles, the entire clan sleeping communally, no privacy, just bodies packed together, warmth through proximity, survival through community. The longhouse is dark, smoky, the central fire provides heat and light, the smoke escapes through holes in the roof, theoretically, mostly it just fills the space, your lungs are damaged already, chronic bronchitis is normal, everyone coughs constantly. You're wearing wool, rough, scratchy, handspun, the only fabric available. Linen if you're wealthy, you're not, just wool, worn directly against skin, no undergarments, no comfort, just function. The village is waking, everyone is preparing, today the longship launches, the raiding party departs, 30 men, 1 ship, sailing to Northumbria, to Lindisfarne, to the monastery, wealthy, undefended, perfect target. The longship is beautiful, sleek, fast, shallow draft, designed for rivers, for beaches, for raiding, the dragonhead prow is intimidating, psychological warfare, the ship is weapon and transport, tool and symbol. The ship is 70 feet long, 16 feet wide, shallow, flexible, built from overlapping planks, clinker built, the construction is sophisticated, the design is perfected over centuries, the Vikings are master shipbuilders. 30 oars, 15 per side, every raider rows, no passengers, everyone works, the labor is communal, the effort is shared, the voyage is collective. The sail is square, wool, striped, red and white, impressive, intimidating, functional, providing speed when wind is favorable, when wind isn't, you row, always row, rowing for days. You're assigned an oar, a position, your seat is your space, your responsibility, your contribution, you row or you're worthless, you pull your weight literally, the expression is Viking origin. Your weapons are simple, an axe, your primary tool, used for everything, chopping wood, building, fighting, killing, the axe is essential, is Viking trademark, is what you'll use to kill. A knife, seeks, long, single-edged, utilitarian and deadly, carried always, used constantly, for eating, for work, for murder, multi-purpose blade. A spear maybe, if you're fortunate, if you can afford it. Most warriors have spears, throwing weapons, stabbing weapons, reach weapons, valuable. Not everyone owns one. A sword if you're wealthy, you're not. Swords are expensive, status symbols, few raiders own them. Most use axes and spears. It's effective, affordable, sufficient. A shield, round, wooden, painted, your protection, your defense, your liability. Shields break constantly. You'll go through several, replacing them, repairing them, fighting without them when they're gone. Armor is rare, leather if anything, mail if you're wealthy, you're not. No armor, just cloth. Your skin is your protection, inadequate, often fatal, but all you have. The raid's purpose is wealth, silver, gold, slaves, anything valuable, anything portable. Raiding is economics, is business, is how you earn, how you survive, how you gain status. The monastery at Lindisfarne is perfect target. Christian, wealthy, undefended. The monks are pacifists, won't fight, will just die, will provide easy plunder, easy slaves, easy victory. The Vikings are pagan, worshipping Norse gods, Odin, Thor, Freya. The pantheon. Christianity is foreign, strange. The Christians are weak, their god is weak. Their pacifism is incomprehensible, exploitable. Killing monks is not murder, not sin, not wrong. They're foreigners, they're Christians, they're enemies. Their wealth is there for taking, their lives are worthless. This is your world view, your culture, your normal. The ship launches, pushed from the beach, floating. The crew boards, takes positions. The oars are deployed, the rowing begins. The voyage starts. You're leaving Norway, sailing west, toward England, toward wealth, toward violence. The North Sea is deadly, cold, rough, storms appear suddenly, waves are massive, the ship is small, fragile, wholly inadequate for ocean crossing. But you cross anyway. The Vikings cross routinely, reaching Iceland, Greenland, North America. The seamanship is exceptional. The courage is undeniable, the casualties are significant. You row, the rhythm is established, synchronized, 30 men pulling together, the ship moves, cutting through waves, heading west, the shore disappears, you're on open ocean, surrounded by water, no land visible, just sea and sky. The rowing is endless, hours, your hands blister, bleed, callous, your back screams. Your shoulders burn, you row anyway, everyone rows, stopping is impossible, the ship must move, must reach England, must complete the voyage. The North Sea crossing takes days, 3 days if weather is good, a week if storms hit, longer if you're blown off course. Navigation is primitive, dead reckoning, sun position, bird sightings, landmarks when visible, mostly just hope and experience. The Vikings are expert navigators, they've crossed these seas for generations, they know the routes, they know the dangers, they know how to survive. Usually, sometimes ships are lost, entire crews drowned, the sea claims many, the raids claim more. You sleep in the ship, at the oar, no room to lie down, just sitting, leaning, trying to rest while wet, while cold, while miserable. Sleep is brief, inadequate, exhausting. The food is dried, preserved, fish, meat, hard bread, eaten cold, washed down with water or ale, minimal, sufficient to survive, not to thrive. Raiding voyage nutrition is subsistence, nothing more. The weather turns, the storm approaches, the sea rises, waves crash over the bow, you're soaked, freezing, rowing desperately, keeping the ship oriented, preventing capsizing, fighting for survival. The storm lasts hours, the ship is tossed, battered, water is bailed constantly, everyone working, everyone terrified, everyone praying to Thor, to Odin, to any god listening. Survival is uncertain, death is likely, you're convinced you'll drown. The storm passes, miraculously, the ship survives, you survive, you're exhausted, hypothermic, traumatized, but alive, the voyage continues. This is Viking raiding, the reality, not the glory, not the adventure, just brutal, dangerous, terrifying work, sailing small boats across deadly seas, hoping to survive, hoping to profit, hoping to return. England appears, finally, the coast is visible, Northumbria, your target, the monastery is close, the raid is imminent, the preparation begins. The ship approaches the shore, careful, watching for rocks, for reefs, for dangers. The shallow draft allows close approach, the ship beaches, you disembark, 30 raiders, armed, organized, ready. The monastery is visible, stone building, cross on top, wealthy, vulnerable, unaware, perfect, you advance, weapons ready, the raid begins, your first raid, your test, your chance to prove yourself, to earn wealth, to gain reputation, to become Viking. This is why you wouldn't survive, not just the combat, though that would likely kill you, but the voyage, the North Sea crossing, the days of rowing, the storms, the hypothermia, the exhaustion, the sheer physical demand of Viking raiding. Modern people expect safety, demand comfort, require support systems, need technology, need rescue options. The Vikings have none, just ships, just oars, just skill and luck, mostly luck. The mortality rate is high, ships sink, storms kill, raids go wrong, enemies are stronger than expected, return voyages fail, many raiders leave and never return, the sea claims them, the raids claim them, the Viking life claims them. But those who survive, who return, who bring wealth, they're celebrated, they're respected, they're successful, the risk is worth it, for them, for the survivors, for the ones who beat the odds. You're attempting to join them, to become Viking raider, to earn your place, to prove yourself. The voyage is complete, the raid begins, tomorrow brings violence, brings wealth or death, brings your test, your trial, your chance, your likely doom. The landing is unopposed, the beach is empty, the monastery is unsuspecting, the element of surprise is complete, the raid will succeed, probably, the monks will die, certainly, the wealth will be taken, definitely. You advance with the group, 30 men, moving together, weapons ready, adrenaline flowing, fear present but controlled, the training is minimal, the experience is none, you're just following, just doing what others do, just trying not to die. The monastery walls are low, defensive walls are absent, the monks trusted in God's protection, that protection is about to fail catastrophically, the Vikings don't fear God, don't respect sanctity, don't acknowledge Christian theology. The gates are unbarred, the entry is easy, the monks are inside, praying, unaware, about to die, about to learn that prayer doesn't stop axes, doesn't prevent violence, doesn't save lives. This is the morning you become Viking raider, the day you sail for England, the beginning of the raid, the start of the violence, the first day of what might be very few days. Statistically, most raiders die young, violently, far from home. Sleep tonight knowing you've survived the voyage, the North Sea crossing, the storm, the rowing, you've reached England, you've beached the ship, you've approached the target. Tomorrow brings the raid, the killing, the plunder, the moment that defines Viking raiding, the violence that built the legend, the brutality that terrified Europe, the attack that begins 3 centuries of terror. The Viking Age is beginning, 793 AD, the Lindisfarne raid is first, most famous, most documented, but it's just the start, just the beginning. Raids will continue for 300 years, countless raids, countless deaths, countless slaves taken, countless wealth stolen. You're part of it, participant in history, creator of terror, builder of legend, Viking raider, Norse pirate, Scandinavian warrior, attacking the defenseless, killing the unarmed, stealing from churches, taking slaves. This is your role, your function, your purpose. This is Viking raiding. This is the truth. This is the morning you become raider, the day that changes everything, the beginning of the end, for you, for the monks, for innocence, for peace.
The night before the raid is restless. You sleep on the beach, guarding the ship, watching for enemies, preparing mentally for tomorrow's violence. Around you, other raiders sleep, some experienced, veterans of previous raids, comfortable with violence, accepting of brutality, professional killers. Others are new, like you, first raid, terrified, excited, unsure what to expect, what to do, how to survive. The experienced raiders tell stories of previous raids, of wealth taken, of enemies killed, of slaves captured. The stories are boastful, exaggerated probably, but also educational, revealing what works, what's dangerous, what kills. You listen, learning, preparing, trying to understand what's coming, trying to ready yourself for violence, for killing, for becoming murderer, because that's what raiding is. Murder for profit, theft with violence, terrorism as economic strategy. Tomorrow brings the test, the trial, the moment that determines everything. You'll fight or you'll freeze. You'll kill or you'll die. You'll succeed or you'll fail. The raid will reveal who you are, what you're capable of, whether you're Viking or just Norwegian, whether you're raider or just farmer, whether you survive or just become casualty.
Sleep comes fitfully, fear and excitement mixing. The morning approaches, inevitably, bringing violence, bringing transformation, bringing the raid that changes you, that makes you Viking, that makes you killer, that makes you wealthy maybe, that makes you dead possibly, that makes you something different certainly. This is the morning you set sail for England, the day you become Viking raider, the beginning of the story, the start of the violence, the first step toward wealth or death, toward glory or grave, toward success or sea bottom, the Viking way, the Norse path, the raiding life, beginning now, starting here, with you, with the ship, with the sea crossing, with the monastery ahead, with the monks waiting, with the violence imminent, with tomorrow bringing everything, bringing the raid, bringing the truth, bringing why you wouldn't survive, why modern people couldn't, why Viking raiding was not adventure but horror, not glory but brutality, not heroism but piracy, not legend but reality, brutal, deadly, real. Sleep well. Tomorrow we raid. Tomorrow we kill. Tomorrow we become Vikings, or we become corpses. One or the other, always one or the other. Tomorrow.
Welcome back to the Viking raid. If you survived the North Sea crossing, you're tougher than expected. Tonight, we explore the nutrition that barely sustained raiders, the dried fish that was their staple, the ale that was safer than water, and the brutal reality that Vikings were chronically malnourished, diseased, and dying from dietary deficiencies as much as from combat. So settle in, get comfortable, and let's face the nutritional reality of Viking life, where food is scarce, variety is non-existent, and scurvy kills as efficiently as swords. The morning of the raid, you eat what you've been eating for days. Dried fish, hard bread, ale. The same meal every meal. The monotony is crushing. The nutrition is inadequate. The dried fish is caught in massive quantities, preserved through drying. Rock hard, must be soaked or chewed endlessly. Tastes terrible, provides protein, causes constipation. The Vikings are fish people. Fish is everything. Fresh when possible, dried always, salted sometimes. Fish, fish, endless fish. Your body craves anything else, receives only fish. The bread is hard, coarse, made from barley or oats. Wheat if you're wealthy. You're not. Just barley, ground coarse, baked hard, breaking teeth, lasting forever.
The bread provides calories, carbohydrates, bulk, fills the stomach, doesn't satisfy, doesn't nourish properly, just maintains minimal function. Ale is consumed constantly, weak ale, safer than water, providing calories, providing mild intoxication, making life bearable, making food tolerable. The ale is brewed from barley, flavored with bog myrtle or hops. The alcohol content is low, 3 to 4%. You'd need to drink gallons to get drunk. You drink gallons anyway. Hydration, calories, culture. Water is available, springs, rivers, but often contaminated. Ale is safer, preferred, consumed by everyone, including children. Weak ale is universal beverage. The Viking diet at home is slightly better, more variety, dairy products, cheese, butter, skyr, the fermented milk, nutritious, available, consumed regularly. Meat occasionally, pork, beef, mutton. Sheep are common, cattle are valuable, horses are sacred, eaten rarely, reluctantly, only when desperate. Game meat when hunting succeeds, deer, elk, boar, wild birds, seals when beached, supplementing, varying, improving the diet when available.
But on raids at sea, the diet is survival level. Dried fish, hard bread, ale, maybe some cheese, nothing fresh, nothing varied, just preserved foods, just minimal nutrition. The lack of vitamin C is critical. No fresh vegetables, no fruit. Scurvy develops, slowly, inevitably, affecting everyone who raids, everyone who sails. The symptoms are familiar to Vikings: bleeding gums, loose teeth, fatigue, old wounds reopening. They know the signs, they accept them, they don't understand the cause. Some raiders know that fresh food helps, that eating grass, eating seaweed, eating anything green seems to prevent the worst. They do it. Others mock them. Most just suffer. Arriving in England offers opportunity. Raiding monasteries provides food. The monks have gardens, have stores, have variety. The raiders eat fresh vegetables, fresh bread, fresh meat, briefly. The monastery at Lindisfarne has stores: grain, vegetables, preserves, cheese, wine. The raiders consume everything, gorging. The fresh food is revelation, is medicine unknowingly, is prevention of scurvy. But it's temporary. The raid ends, the ship departs. Back to dried fish, back to hard bread, back to scurvy. The improvement is brief, the deficiency returns. The raiding itself affects nutrition. The violence, the exertion, the stress, all increase caloric needs, increase nutritional demands. The inadequate diet becomes insufficient. You're burning more calories than you're consuming, losing weight, losing strength. The body cannibalizes itself. Muscle mass decreases, function declines. The experienced raiders are gaunt, lean, hard, minimal body fat, maximum muscle, but undernourished, chronically deficient, operating at reduced capacity. This is Viking raiding reality. The nutrition is inadequate. The diet is monotonous. The health consequences are severe. Everyone suffers. Everyone declines. Everyone is damaged by the dietary deprivation. The water supply on raids is critical. Drinking contaminated water causes disease, dysentery, typhoid, cholera. The raiders sicken, die. The water kills more than combat sometimes. Ale is carried, in barrels, in skins, but it's heavy, it's limited, it runs out. Then you're drinking whatever water is available, hoping it's safe. Often it's not.
The dysentery is common. Everyone has it. The chronic diarrhea, the dehydration, the weakness. It's accepted. It's normal. It's just Viking raiding. Everyone suffers. Everyone continues anyway. Food on the return voyage is worse. The supplies are depleted. The fresh food from the raid is consumed. Back to dried fish, back to hard bread. If those remain, often they don't. Some return voyages end in starvation. Supplies run out, storms delay return. The voyage takes longer than planned. Food is gone, water is gone. Men die. Slowly. The ship returns with corpses. The successful raids bring slaves, captives, human cargo. They're fed minimally, just enough to survive, to remain valuable. Their nutrition is worse than the raiders. Their property, investments, maintained, not nourished. The slaves eat scraps, leftovers, whatever remains. They weaken, some die. The losses are calculated, acceptable. The profit margin accounts for mortality. The Viking diet creates specific health problems. Dental disease is universal. The coarse bread, the hard food, the lack of oral hygiene, teeth are destroyed. Abscesses develop. Infections spread. Many Vikings have terrible teeth, rotting, missing, painful. Eating is difficult. Talking is affected. Appearance is damaged. It's normal. It's accepted. It's Viking life. Bone analysis of Viking remains shows nutritional deficiencies, Harris lines in bones, indicating periods of starvation, of severe malnutrition, of growth interruption. The Vikings grew up malnourished, raided malnourished, died malnourished.
The entire culture operated at nutritional deficit, at reduced health, at compromised function. Modern people couldn't survive this diet. We're accustomed to variety, to fresh food, to nutritional completeness, to vitamins, to 3 meals daily, to snacks, to abundance. The Viking diet would make us sick, would cause deficiencies, would weaken us, would kill us, eventually, certainly, through accumulated damage, through chronic inadequacy. They survived it, adapted to it, accepted it. Their bodies adjusted to minimal nutrition, to chronic deficiency, to constant hunger. They functioned, they raided, they fought on inadequate fuel, on insufficient nutrition.
That's remarkable. That's adaptation. That's human resilience. But it's also suffering. It's damage. It's shortened lifespans. It's preventable health problems. It's the cost of Viking life. The food you're eating tonight, after the raid, sitting on the beach, dividing plunder, is monastery food. Fresh, varied, delicious. You eat until you're full. First time in weeks. The sensation is overwhelming. The bread is white, weak, soft. The cheese is rich. The vegetables are crisp. The meat is tender. This is how the monks ate, how Christians eat, how civilization eats. You understand why raiding is profitable, why continuing is necessary. The food alone justifies the risk. But tomorrow you sail, back to Norway, back to dried fish, back to hard bread, back to scurvy and deficiency. The monastery food is temporary. The Viking diet is permanent. The suffering is constant. Sleep tonight knowing you've eaten well, briefly, understanding that nutrition defines Viking life as much as violence, that the diet kills as surely as combat, that raiding is partly driven by hunger, by need, by the inadequacy of home diet, by the desperation of chronic malnutrition. Tomorrow we continue, exploring the violence, the raid itself, the combat, the killing, the brutality that made Vikings feared, that built the legend, that terrorized Europe, the violence that the inadequate diet somehow fueled, somehow sustained, impossibly. Rest well, eat well, appreciate nutrition, because they couldn't, because they suffered, because they died from deficiency, from inadequacy, from chronic malnutrition, the invisible killer, the silent destroyer, the nutritional reality of Viking raiding.
Welcome back to the raid. Tonight we face the violence that defined Viking culture, the monastery assault, the systematic killing, and the brutal reality that Viking raids were not honorable combat, but massacres of unarmed civilians. So settle in and let's face the truth of Viking raiding, where monks are slaughtered, where churches are burned, and where violence is the product, not the consequence. The raid begins at dawn. 30 Vikings, armed, organized, approaching the monastery. The monks are praying, unaware, defenseless, about to die. The Vikings don't hesitate, don't negotiate, don't warn. They attack immediately. The doors are broken. The monks are inside, trapped, surrounded, murdered. The first monks you see are elderly, unarmed, terrified. They raise hands, pleading, praying. You're swinging your axe. The command is simple: kill everyone, take everything. Your axe hits the first monk, his skull. The sound is terrible, wet, crunching. He falls, blood everywhere. You've killed, actually killed, ended a life. The shock is immediate. But there's no time. Other raiders are killing, monks are running. You chase, you strike, you kill again. The violence is frenzied, is overwhelming, is happening. The monastery has maybe 40 monks, all dying. The Vikings are efficient, systematic, moving through the building, killing everyone. The monks can't fight, don't resist, just die. Some praying, some begging, some silent, all murdered. You kill 3 monks, maybe 4. The number blurs. The violence is continuous. Your axe is red. Your hands are covered in blood. You're covered in blood. You're a killer, multiple times over. The killing takes minutes, maybe 10, maybe 15. Then it's over. The monks are dead. The building is secure. The looting begins. The purpose is revealed. The monastery has wealth.
silver, gold, religious items, chalices, crosses, reliquaries. Beautiful, valuable, portable, perfect plunder. The altar is stripped, the crosses are taken, the religious items are stolen. The sanctity means nothing. The wealth means everything. This is the purpose. This is why you came. The books are destroyed, manuscripts illuminated, priceless, irreplaceable. The raiders don't care. They're illiterate. Books have no value. Burn them. Use them for kindling. The cultural destruction is casual, thoughtless, complete.
Some buildings are burned, creating smoke, sending a message, demonstrating power, terrorizing neighbors, ensuring the raid is remembered, ensuring the fear spreads. Survivors are captured, young monks, lay brothers, anyone useful. They're bound, herded to the ship. They're now slaves, property, cargo, human wealth. The slaves are terrified, traumatized. They've watched friends die, watched their home burn, watched Vikings take everything. Now they're property, being taken away, being sold, being enslaved. You guard the slaves, preventing escape. Your job is simple. If they run, kill them. The command is clear. The execution is expected. You do it. You're a killer now. Murder is normal. The plunder is gathered, divided. The raid leader takes the largest share. His right as organizer, as ship owner. The rest is divided among raiders. Your share is modest, some silver, a religious cup, enough to feel successful, to justify the voyage, to want more. The village near the monastery is next. Civilians, farmers, fishermen, equally defenseless, equally doomed. The Vikings attack, kill men, capture women and children, burn buildings, take everything. The women are raped, systematically, by multiple raiders. Viking raiding includes sexual violence as norm, as expectation, as part of the reward. The women's screams are ignored. Their suffering is irrelevant. Their spoils, their property, their entertainment. You participate, or you watch. Complicity is universal. Refusing is weakness, marks you as unmanly, as cowardly. You either rape or you're suspected. You either join or you're excluded. The pressure is absolute. This is Viking raiding reality. Not combat, not honorable warfare, but massacre, but rape, but slavery, but terrorism. Systematic, profitable, accepted, normalized. The village is destroyed, buildings burned, fields ruined, livestock taken. The survivors flee, spreading word, spreading fear, ensuring the Vikings' reputation grows, ensuring future raids are easier. Terror is weapon, is strategy, is profitable. The raid is complete. The ship is loaded, plunder, slaves, everything portable. The Vikings depart, sailing away, leaving death and destruction, leaving terror and trauma, leaving the Viking calling card.
The return voyage is tense. The slaves are cargo, must be kept alive, must be controlled. They're desperate, suicidal sometimes, must be watched constantly. Some slaves are killed, too much trouble, not worth the effort, thrown overboard, drowned. The losses are acceptable. The profit margin remains good. The sea crossing is slower, the ship is heavier, the plunder weighs it down. The slaves occupy space, rowing is harder, progress is slower, danger is greater. But you're returning, the raid succeeded, you're wealthy, relatively. You're a proven raider, a killer, a Viking. Your reputation is established, your future is set. Assuming you survive, assuming the sea doesn't claim you, assuming the next raid doesn't kill you. This is Viking combat. Not battlefield, not army against army, but raiders against civilians, armed men against defenseless victims, violence against the unprepared. It's not war, it's piracy, it's terrorism, it's murder for profit. The Vikings are feared because they attack the weak, because they show no mercy, because they're unpredictable, because they appear suddenly, attack viciously, disappear quickly. The raiding strategy is perfect, is proven, is profitable, is sustainable for centuries. Europe is terrorized, monasteries are abandoned, coastal villages are evacuated. The Vikings control the narrative, control the fear, control the profit. You wouldn't survive this violence, not the combat, but the moral injury, the psychological damage, the trauma of committing murder, of raping, of enslaving, of being terrorist. Modern people have concepts of war crimes, of human rights, of rules of engagement,
of civilian protection, of prosecutable violence. Vikings have none, have only profit, have only success, have only survival. The violence is tool, is weapon, is product, is normal, is accepted, is Viking. Tomorrow we explore the punishment, the torture, the blood eagle, the executions that made Vikings legendary, that terrified enemies, that demonstrated brutality, that built reputation, that were real, documented, systematic. Rest tonight knowing you've raided, killed, enslaved, succeeded. You're Viking now, proven, wealthy, damaged forever.
Welcome back to the Viking world. Tonight we face the torture that built Viking reputation, the blood eagle execution, the brutal punishments, and the systematic cruelty that made Viking revenge legendary. So settle in and let's face Viking brutality, where execution is art, where suffering is spectacle, and where the blood eagle is not myth but documented horror. The blood eagle, Blodorn, the most infamous Viking execution, described in sagas, disputed by historians, probably real, certainly terrifying. The execution method is specific, detailed, designed for maximum suffering, maximum spectacle, maximum terror. This is Viking revenge, Viking justice, Viking statement. The victim is captured, an enemy, a rival, someone who wronged you, someone whose death must be memorable, must send message, must demonstrate power. The victim is restrained, face down, stripped, prepared for execution. The process is deliberate, public, witnessed, entertainment and terror combined. The executioner uses a sword or axe, cutting along the spine, breaking ribs, separating them from the backbone, creating wings of bone. The victim is conscious, screaming, suffering is intentional.
The ribs are pulled apart, spread, creating the eagle shape. The lungs are pulled through, displayed. The victim dies slowly, in agony. The spectacle is complete. Historical accuracy is debated. No contemporary accounts exist. Only saga descriptions, written centuries later, possibly exaggerated, possibly invented. But the concept is Viking. The brutality is consistent. Whether fully accurate or partially, the blood eagle represents Viking cruelty. Other executions are documented, verified, equally brutal. The Vikings executed creatively, publicly, demonstratively. Hanging is common, from trees, from posts, from convenient structures. The body left as warning, as demonstration, as terror device. Beheading is standard, quick, efficient, sometimes, other times deliberately slow. The victim partially beheaded, suffering, dying slowly. The brutality is discretionary. Drowning in bogs. The victim is held underwater, struggling, drowning slowly. The body is left, preserved in peat. Bog bodies found centuries later, evidence of Viking execution methods. Human sacrifice occurs, documented in accounts, practiced during religious festivals. Slaves are killed, offered to gods. The practice is religious, is cultural, is normal in pagan society. The Uppsala temple sacrifices, every 9 years, large festival, multiple humans sacrificed, hung from trees in sacred groves, offered to Odin. The practice continues into Christian era, gradually ending, reluctantly abandoned. Sacrifice victims are usually slaves, captives, the expendable. Their lives have minimal value. Their deaths serve religious purpose. Their suffering is ignored, irrelevant, unimportant. Some Vikings volunteer for sacrifice, seeking honorable death, seeking Valhalla, believing death in sacrifice equals death in battle, guarantees afterlife in Odin's hall. The bloat, sacrificial ceremony, animals primarily, horses, cattle, bulls, but humans occasionally. The blood is collected, sprinkled on participants, on altars, on sacred objects. The ritual is elaborate, is central to religion. Torture as punishment is common. Theft, betrayal, cowardice, all punished brutally, publicly, demonstratively. The community witnesses, learns, fears. Outlawry is severe punishment. The victim is declared outside law, outside society. Anyone can kill them without penalty. Their property is forfeit. Their family is disgraced. Social death before physical death. The outlaw must leave. Exile is mandatory. Survival is difficult. Most outlaws die, killed by enemies, by elements, by starvation. The punishment is essentially death sentence, delayed, agonizing, certain. Viking revenge is systematic, is cultural expectation.
If family member is killed, you must avenge, must kill the killer, must restore honor. Refusing is shameful, cowardly, unacceptable. The blood feud results, family against family, killing and counter-killing. The cycle continues for generations. Whole families are destroyed. The violence is endless, is normal, is expected. Some feuds are ended through compensation, wergild, blood money. The killer pays the victim's family, the amount is negotiated, honor is restored, the feud ends, usually, sometimes. But some offenses are too severe, some killings are too insulting. Compensation is refused, only blood satisfies, only revenge restores honor. The feud continues. Women can demand revenge, widows especially. They pressure male relatives, demand action, shame them if they hesitate. Female influence in revenge culture is significant, is powerful, is dangerous.
The sagas glorify revenge, celebrate violence, honor those who kill, who avenge, who maintain family honor. The culture promotes violence, normalizes it, makes it necessary, makes it virtue. You've participated in raid, killed monks. That's different from revenge. That's economics. That's raiding. Revenge is personal, is honor, is duty, is what defines you as Norse, as Viking, as man. If your brother is killed, you must avenge, must kill the killer, must restore family honor. Refusing means dishonor, means cowardice, means social death worse than physical death. The revenge system creates constant violence, perpetual conflict. Everyone has enemies, everyone has obligations, everyone lives under threat. The society is militarized, is violent, is dangerous, by design, by culture, by choice. Viking law recognizes this. The thing, assembly, legal gathering, handles disputes, assigns compensation, authorizes outlawry, manages violence, channels it, never eliminates it. The law accepts violence, regulates it, makes it orderly, makes it just. Viking justice is violent justice, is revenge justice, is honor justice, different from modern concepts, completely different from Christian concepts.
The conversion to Christianity changes this. Gradually, reluctantly, the church opposes blood feuds, opposes revenge, opposes human sacrifice, proposes forgiveness. The concepts are alien, are weak, are resisted. Some Vikings convert, accept Christianity, abandon revenge culture. Their neighbors see them as weak, as dishonored, as contemptible. The cultural conflict is intense. The blood eagle, whether real or legendary, represents Viking values: revenge over mercy, honor over life, spectacle over efficiency, brutality over humanity. Modern people can't comprehend this, can't accept society built on revenge, on public torture, on systematic cruelty, on normalized violence, on honor through killing. We have justice systems, have laws, have police, have courts, have prisons, have concepts of proportional punishment, of human rights, of cruel and unusual punishment prohibitions. Vikings have honor, have revenge, have blood feud, have violence as virtue, have cruelty as tool, have brutality as culture. Completely different, incomprehensibly different. In the next chapter, we conclude, exploring death, disease, the reality of Viking mortality, the short lifespans, the violent ends, the truth that most Vikings died young, died violently, died far from home. Rest tonight knowing the torture is real, the brutality is systematic. The blood eagle, whether historical fact or cultural myth, represents Viking values, Viking justice, Viking revenge. The cruelty that built the legend, that terrorized Europe, that defined the culture, that was real, was practiced, was normal, was Viking.
Welcome back to the Viking world for the final time. You've survived the raid, the violence, the brutality. You've returned to Norway, wealthy, changed, damaged. Tonight we face the ultimate truth about Vikings, the disease that killed more than combat, the short lifespans, and the grim reality that most Vikings died young, died poor, and died without the glorious death they sought. So settle in one last time, and let's face the complete truth of Viking life, where Valhalla is fantasy,
where most die of disease, and where the reality contradicts the legend. The return to Norway is triumphant. You're wealthy, successful, proven. The village celebrates. The raid succeeded. The profits are real. You're respected now. But you're also changed, damaged, traumatized. You've killed. You've committed atrocities. You carry those memories forever. PTSD before the term existed, before treatment existed. You just suffer, privately, permanently. The plunder is divided. You receive your share. Silver, a chalice, a slave. Wealth beyond anything you had. Enough to buy land, to marry, to establish yourself, to achieve status.
The slave is yours. Property. A young monk. Educated. Christian. Foreign. Terrified. His life is yours now. To use, to sell, to keep, to kill. The choice is yours. The power is absolute. You keep him. Use him as laborer. He works your fields, serves your household, lives in your barn, sleeps with animals. His education is worthless. His God provides no protection. He's just property now. The trauma you caused, the monks you killed, the violence you committed, it follows you. Nightmares are constant. The faces appear. The screams echo. Sleep is difficult. Rest is impossible. But you don't discuss this. Showing weakness is dangerous. Admitting fear is shameful. You suffer silently, drink heavily, become violent. Normal Viking coping. Destructive, unhealthy, common. The next raid is planned. Next summer, you'll go again. The first raid succeeded. Established pattern. Built expectation. You're a raider now. That's your identity, your role, your future. But most Vikings don't raid repeatedly. One raid, maybe two. Then they stop. The mortality rate is too high. The trauma is too great. The luck runs out. The sea claims them. The combat kills them. The raids end.
Your second raid is different. You know what's coming. The violence doesn't shock. The killing is familiar. You're efficient now, professional, a killer without hesitation, without remorse. The transformation is complete. But the second raid goes wrong. The monastery is defended. The monks have armed men. Other Vikings were here first. The resistance is real. The combat is actual. People die. Vikings die. You're wounded. Axe to the shoulder. Deep, serious. You survive. Barely. Return injured, infected. The wound becomes infected, inevitably. No antibiotics, no antiseptic. Just honey, prayers, hope. The infection spreads. Fever develops. You're dying, slowly, painfully, from a wound that modern medicine treats easily, that Vikings can't treat at all. The infection wins. Sometimes, mortality from infected wounds is 50%. You survive, this time, but permanent damage, reduced mobility, chronic pain. The shoulder never heals properly, never functions fully. You're 25 years old. Your body is wrecked. 2 raids, multiple wounds, infections, malnutrition, chronic disease. You look 40, feel 50, will die at 35 probably. Viking mortality is brutal, is unavoidable, is accepted.
Disease kills more Vikings than combat. Respiratory infections, tuberculosis, pneumonia. Everyone coughs. Everyone has lung damage. The smoky longhouses, the cold, the damp. Perfect conditions for disease. Dysentery, typhoid, cholera, all common, all deadly, spreading through communities, killing percentages. The close living conditions, the poor sanitation, disease spreads easily, kills efficiently. Smallpox, measles, epidemics sweep through, killing children primarily. Infant mortality is 40%. Most children don't reach adulthood. Most families bury multiple children. Grief is universal, constant, normalized. Dental disease is universal. Rotting teeth, abscesses, infections spreading to brain, to heart, killing unexpectedly, painfully. Teeth are deadly in Viking Age, in medieval times, before modern dentistry. The average Viking lifespan is 35 to 40 years, if you survive childhood. Maybe 45 if you're lucky, wealthy, peaceful. Most don't. Most die young. Most die violently or from disease. Most die poor. Valhalla is the promised afterlife for warriors, for those who die in combat. Odin's Hall, eternal feasting, eternal fighting, eternal glory, the ultimate goal, the desired death.
But most Vikings don't die in combat, die of disease, of age, of accidents. These deaths don't reach Valhalla, go to hell, the underworld, cold, dark, dreary, eternal existence without glory, without feast, without honor. So Vikings seek combat death, seek honorable death. Some elderly Vikings request execution, ask to be killed, to ensure Valhalla, to avoid hell. The request is honored, the death is given, the solution is violence, always violence. The funeral practices reflect this. Ship burials for wealthy, the dead are placed in ships, burned, sent to afterlife properly. The ceremony is elaborate, is expensive, is rare. Most Vikings get simple burial, mounds, stones, markers. The ceremony is brief, the resources are limited, death is common, can't be expensive, can't be elaborate, just functional. Some burials include slaves, killed, buried with master, serving in afterlife. Human sacrifice continuing even in death. The slaves have no choice, no escape, even death doesn't free them. You've survived 2 raids, you're wealthy, damaged, established, you could stop, could settle, could farm, could live peacefully. You don't, you raid again. It's who you are, what you do, what defines you. The truth is shorter lives, is more disease, is more suffering, is less glory, is more trauma, is more mundane death, is less Valhalla, is more hell, is reality contradicting legend, is history contradicting saga. You wouldn't survive Viking life, not the combat, though that would kill you, but the disease, the malnutrition, the mortality, the violence, the brutality, the normalized horror, the cultural acceptance of cruelty, of slavery, of revenge, of violence as virtue. Modern people have longer lives, have medicine, have law, have rights, have protection, have everything Vikings lacked, everything that makes civilization civilized, everything that makes life livable. The Vikings deserve acknowledgement, deserve truth, deserve recognition that they were humans, complex, capable of good and evil, builders and destroyers, explorers and raiders, fathers and murderers, all simultaneously, all human, all flawed. Remember them honestly, not as legends, not as myths, not as heroes, but as people, as raiders, as victims and victimizers, as humans doing terrible things, creating culture through violence, building legend through brutality, achieving through destroying. Sleep well tonight, final time, from Viking world, from raiding life, from Norse culture, knowing the complete truth, the full cost, the real Vikings, not the legend, not the show, not the movie, but the disease, the death, the short lives, the violent ends, the truth. The third raid kills you, an arrow, unexpected, through the throat, you die quickly, drowning in blood, your last thoughts are confused, surprised, is this Valhalla? Is this honorable? Does this count? You died in raid, in violence, probably counts, probably Valhalla, probably eternal glory, probably. Your body is brought home, buried properly, mourned appropriately, remembered briefly, forgotten eventually. You were one raider among thousands, one Viking among hundreds of thousands, one life among millions, brief, violent, typical. This is Viking reality, not the legend, not the glory, not the saga, but short lives, violent deaths, constant disease, chronic malnutrition, normalized brutality, systematic violence, a culture built on raiding, on slavery, on revenge, on honor through killing. The Vikings achieved remarkable things: shipbuilding, navigation, exploration. They reached Iceland, Greenland, North America. They established kingdoms, influenced Europe, shaped history. Their legacy is significant, undeniable, impressive. But their methods were brutal, their culture was violent, their values were incompatible with modern concepts of human rights, of civilian protection, of rules of war, of prosecutable violence. The Vikings were raiders, slavers, rapists, murderers. They terrorized Europe, destroyed monasteries, captured thousands as slaves, burned, killed, traumatized, for profit, for honor, for 3 centuries. The Christianity that eventually conquered them, that converted them, that ended the Viking Age, brought different values, different ethics, different concepts of justice, of mercy, of forgiveness, of peace. The conversion was gradual, reluctant. Some Vikings resisted, preferred the old ways, preferred revenge over forgiveness, preferred Valhalla over heaven, preferred being Viking over being Christian. But eventually Christianity won, the old gods faded, the raids ended, the Viking Age concluded, the culture transformed, the violence decreased, the legend began. The legend glorifies, romanticizes, makes Vikings heroes, makes raids adventures, makes violence glory. The legend is wrong, is false, is propaganda, is myth, is entertainment, not history, not truth. The Viking Age, 793 to 1066 AD, 3 centuries, countless raids, thousands dead, tens of thousands enslaved, immeasurable trauma, significant historical impact, complex legacy, ending finally, converting finally, becoming Christian, becoming medieval, becoming civilized, losing what made them Viking, gaining what made them human, the transformation complete. Remember them, acknowledge them, understand them, the Vikings, the raiders, the Norsemen, the explorers, the slavers, the humans, complex, contradictory, capable of remarkable achievement and remarkable cruelty, simultaneously, constantly, defining their age, creating their legend, living their brief, violent, impactful lives, dying young, dying often, dying violently, becoming history, becoming legend, becoming myth, becoming false, becoming romanticized, becoming misunderstood, becoming entertainment, losing truth, losing reality, losing the cost, losing the suffering, losing the disease, losing the death, losing what was real, keeping what sells, keeping what entertains, keeping the legend, discarding the truth. This is the Viking truth, complete, honest, final, not heroic, not glorious, but real, human, complex, worthy of remembering, worthy of understanding, worthy of truth, always truth, only truth, forever truth. Sleep well, the Viking Age ends, the truth remains, the legend fades, reality persists, memory continues, honestly, completely, finally.